So it's 2023 or maybe even further in the future. And is Profit First still a sustainable system? Is this still something you should be using in your business? Let's chat about that. Hey guys, I'm Abby Johnson with Matterhorn Business Development. Now, right up front, I'm going to tell you I am a certified Profit First professional, so this may be a little bit biased of a video, but what I want to do is kind of talk newly about the Profit First cash management system and if it is still applicable today in 2023 and beyond. If you're not familiar with the Profit First system, I'm going to give you a brief overview here, but we also have a whole Profit First playlist that you can check out. We'll link it below. And that original video I posted with my dad is from 2019. I've now been certified in Profit First for over 3.5 years. So I was still brand new back then. So I now have 3.5 years of experience under my belt working with many different business owners, many different industries with Profit First. So I'm kind of coming at you from some new experience that I didn't have last time we were making our initial Profit First videos. So really quickly, I'll give you a brief overview, but again, we have other videos and there's tons of videos around YouTube that'll tell you in more detail what the Profit First system is. But the idea here is that as the business owner, you are setting aside your profit and paying yourself first. This doesn't mean neglecting your other expenses or neglecting your employees, but this does mean that you're actually rewarding yourself as the business owner and taking what you deserve. Now, if you're an employee watching this, you might think that all business owners are money grabbers. They're all driving Maseratis and rich and just out to squash us all. But what I've come to find is that's not the case. A lot of business owners are making the same or less than their employees. They're putting in the same or more work as their employees. And really, when you look at it in a business, who is the most valuable employee? You, the business owner, are. If you weren't there, the business wouldn't exist at all. So you need to be taking and compensating yourself fairly for what you're doing within the business. And a lot of business owners don't know how to do this. They don't know how much they should be taking. They're just bleeding expenses. They don't even know how to go about taking a salary, and Profit First really helps with this. Now, even if you are already in a profitable business, you're already taking a salary, Profit First can help you organize your finances in a way where even when you are paying yourself that fair salary you're already taking, you can see, okay, what can I spend on other things? So this all comes from the idea of flipping that main accounting formula upside down. So instead of sales or income minus expenses equals profit, and Profit First, what we do is we do income minus profit, taking your profit first, and then expenses come last. You're running the business on what's left over. So in that profit category includes profit, owner's pay, and taxes. Of course, that's a whole nother subject, but I know a lot of business owners who are behind on their taxes and aren't setting aside when they should be. So the way you actually execute on this concept is by having multiple bank accounts that I kind of think of as like buckets to organize your money. So money comes all into an income account, and from there it gets allocated to these other accounts in a specific order. First, you allocate into your profit account. That is where you are putting your profit first instead of waiting till the end of the quarter or the end of the year to see what your profit and loss says. The next category is owner's pay. Then you allocate into a tax account to make sure your tax bills are all covered and you aren't sticker shocked by your tax bill. And then the last category is operating expenses. So this is where you pay all your other expenses, your rent, your employees, all of that. Of course, there are a lot of nuances to this, and this is why someone like me is certified in this system. What if you have a lot of materials costs? Industries like restaurants, real estate, investing, contracting, these industries do have different circumstances and they need to be approached a little bit differently. So what I'm giving you here is obviously a very rough overview. If you want more detail on what I'm talking about, if this is your first encounter with Profit First, I do encourage you to go check out that playlist I mentioned before. I go into a lot more detail. I have an FAQ video. I have tons of videos on this subject that you definitely want to go check out. Okay, so now let's address the main question of this video of, is this sustainable in 2023? doing. Like I said, the first video I made on this with my dad was back in 2019. We lived in a different world back then. Since then, we've had a pandemic, we've had a mass employee exodus, and with soaring prices, let's just say that the economic situation is not at its best at the moment. So, is Profit First still a workable system? Yes, it is. I'm sure you're not surprised by my answer, but it is. It's always going to be a sustainable system because all you're doing is organizing your money in a way that works. I've been able to use Profit First with my clients to find gaps where they need to increase their prices. I've found areas where they have expenses in areas that they really shouldn't have or that are way too high. This system has really helped me help my clients find the holes in the bucket where there's a slow leak that maybe they didn't notice. I've also seen people actually start to pay themselves consistently, actually be profitable for the first time in their business. I have never seen this system not work for someone. The only way it didn't work was when they didn't implement and follow it. Even in times of lower income, you can still be setting aside money into your profit account. You can still be setting money into your tax account. I will be honest, I went through this personally. When my dad passed away, our income stopped for a little bit because we had to figure out what we were doing. I still was implementing Profit First. I was making sure expenses were covered. And as I worked to get income back up and everyone resumed in running, I still had to put money into these accounts. I still was trying to pay myself, maybe not as much as I was before for a little bit. But again, this was a very extreme circumstance, much like someone suddenly having to shut their doors due to COVID or whatever it may be. You may need to adjust percentages as an extreme circumstance or emergency like this comes up, but you can keep using the system. There's no reason to stop. The other thing with the Profit First system is that profit account I mentioned earlier. At the end of each quarter, you take half for yourself as a profit distribution, but then you also leave half in the bank. So there are strategies of using this account to pay down debt, but it also builds a reserve account for yourself. So if this had been in place before COVID, before the pandemic, then maybe you would have had a reserve to rely on during that time. I have a few clients who now have a very nice reserve because who knows what's going to happen again in the future. So is Profit First right in 2023? Yes. If it's becoming harder to make money or harder to make actual profit, then now more than ever you need this system. It's going to help you actually be profitable and actually hang on to some of that money instead of just seeing it come in one account, go out the other, and you see none of it to yourself. If you need help implementing Profit First, please reach out to me or ask any of your questions in the comments below. You can go to adventuretoprofit.com and check out our group program there and apply today. Also, make sure you check out our channel sponsors, MetaPulse. We use MetaPulse for all of our clients to help them grow faster than ever, having their org chart, their statistic data, their knowledge center, everything at their fingertips. This really is helping our clients stay organized in their business. So make sure you go check it out.